Do you want to know the secret to a thriving garden? It's all about balance. Imagine trying to cook a perfect meal with the wrong ingredients and bad timing. It won't work. And the garden's no different. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how the 4 key elements of gardening come together like a recipe for success. If your garden's been struggling, stick around and learn how to make your garden flourish. All right, we're going to cover the 4 big, most important things you need to get right in gardening: soil, sunlight, watering, and timing. These are the building blocks that keep your plants strong and healthy. Gardening is like a team effort. These 4 elements, soil, sunlight, watering, and planting at the right time, are all interconnected and work together like the pieces of a puzzle. You get one wrong and the whole thing can fall apart. Let me explain a little further using an analogy of a chef in the kitchen. Think of these elements as key players in the process of creating something amazing. All right, let's talk about soil. It all starts with healthy soil. Think of soil like the kitchen for your plants. It's where all the nutrition, minerals, and water come together to give your plants what it needs to grow strong, just like how a kitchen full of fresh ingredients is essential to making a great meal. Good soil provides the foundation that keeps your plants healthy and strong. And just like cooking, you want the right balance of ingredients. Too much of one thing and too little of another, and things won't turn out quite right. Now, healthy soil means it's rich in organic matter, drains well, and can hold moisture. If the soil is too sandy, it won't retain water. If it's too heavy, like clay, it won't allow roots to breathe. That's why I add compost. Compost is like that secret magic ingredient. It keeps the soil light and airy, but also rich in nutrients. If your soil isn't right, no matter how good your sunlight or your watering is, your plants just won't thrive. It's all about setting the solid foundation with the right soil. Then there's sunlight. It's the energy that fuels your plant's growth. Think of sunlight as the chef in the kitchen. Without a chef, even the best ingredients won't become a meal. Similarly, without sunlight, plants can't turn their nutrition into food. Sunlight is the energy that powers everything the plant does. It's essential for photosynthesis, which is how the plant creates its food. That's why it's so important to make sure your plant is getting the right amount of sunlight. Plants need a certain amount of sunlight, usually about 6 to 8 hours a day to grow strong. Some plants, like leafy greens, can tolerate a little less sunlight, but others, like tomatoes or peppers, thrive in more direct sunlight. Think of it like a chef's workday. Too little light, and the plant's growth is slow and weak. But with enough sunlight, the plant can turn the nutrition from the soil and the water you provide into energy, creating that perfect dish. Without enough light, the plants can't do what they need to do properly, just like a chef can't make a meal without the proper kitchen equipment or ingredients. Now let's talk about watering. Think of it like the spices in your cabinet. It's the final touch that brings everything together. Too much, and it overpowers the dish. Too little, and it's bland and incomplete. Getting the right amount of water is key to making sure the plant's roots can absorb nutrients from the soil and get the energy it needs. It also helps plants to regulate their temperature and ensures that the right balance of nutrients and moisture gets to them. It's like seasoning a dish. Too much, and you ruin it. Too little, and it's just not right. And just like spices, you need to make sure you're using the right amount of water, especially for different types of plants. Some need a little more water, while others prefer it to be a bit drier. It's all about consistency. Don't let the soil dry out completely, and don't let it sit in water for too long. Keep the soil moist, but not soggy. If you water too much, you risk drowning the roots. But if you don't water enough, the plants might not get the nutrients it needs. If you get it just right, that balance creates a thriving plant. And finally, timing. Even the best chefs rely on a recipe. Timing, when you actually plant your seedling or seed, this is like the recipe itself. If you follow the steps in the right order and at the right time, everything turns out great. If you're a plant and you get planted too early or too late, it can mess up the balance of sunlight, water, and nutrients. Not only that, if you mess up the timing, it could be too hot or too cold for your plant to grow properly. It's like having a dish that's too hot or too cold. If you plant too early in the season, when the soil is still cold, the plant won't germinate. If you plant too late, the weather might be too hot for the plant to establish itself. That's why timing is essential. because temperature plays such a huge role. You want to plant at the right temperature for your plant's needs so they have the best chance of growing strong. Timing ensures everything works together, just like following a recipe and doing everything at the right time gets you that perfect dish. So when you combine healthy soil, your plant's kitchen, the right amount of sunlight, the chef, the perfect amount of water, the spice, and planting at the right time, the recipe, your plants get everything they need to thrive. These four elements are like the parts of a well-oiled machine, working in perfect harmony. Each one plays its own part in keeping your garden strong and healthy. And when they're in sync, you'll see the results. With all four of these now in sync, your plants will have what they need to grow strong, healthy, and happy. Just like how the perfect dish comes together in the kitchen with the right ingredients and timing, your garden will thrive with the right balance of soil, sunlight, watering, and timing. So get these four things right and your plants will thank you. I genuinely appreciate you watching this video. Please subscribe for more gardening related content and have a blessed day.